I think Chicago's going to be right in it. And that's saying something, because at the beginning of this season, I did not.
Welcome to We Need to Talk Now, presented by AT&T. I am Alicia Jay, here with you every single week. Now, Ashley, she had a little birthday with her dad, Mr. Moss. Happy birthday. Burr, 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 all the birthday things. But in her place today, as we talk about this amazing game that just happened, is the one and the only WNBA analyst and CBS sports reporter, Terrika Foster-Brasby. Say all the three names. Say all of them.
All of them, all three. So my husband won't hate me. Thank you.
Listen, we still trying to get one of those husbands over here. So we only got one name, but in the future we may have three. You know what I'm saying? If all y'all act right out there. So before we get into this game that we just had between the Fever, which, you know, we'll talk all about that. The Fever in the Sky. It was a great first game between a lot of people, and we'll get into all the matchups that we had in the rookie class and all of that. But before we get into that, please subscribe, y'all. We are here to bring you everything about women's sports every single week, more than once a week at times, because just this show is, you know, a perfect example of that. But we need you to subscribe. Make sure you comment, make sure you like, make sure you share this with everyone, because we all want to be here talking about women's sports every single week. And if you just want to listen, like, let's say you can't get on to the YouTube and see our beautiful faces, make sure that you go to your favorite podcast platform, and, you know, it's on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all that. And then you can also just scan this code right here and get right to us. So make sure you do that, because we want to be with you. We want to be commenting with you. We want to be having this discourse between all of us right here on We Need to Talk Now. So listen, it's all about this game, all about this game. But before we jump into that, who do you think had the best pregame fit? Caitlin or Angel? This one's hard.
I think it's Angel, and I'm going to tell you why. For me, it was the shoes, right? But Angel there's a clip on social with Angel keeping it so real, where she's like, hey, listen, the baddie can only be bad for so long. I got to get these shoes off.
Let me get these shoes off. A baddie can't stay too bad too long.
That did it for me, because that's relatable. I felt
so relatable. I felt it too. I felt it too. When I saw her walking at first, I was like, ooh. And then when she said that, I was like, okay, yes, we understand.
We understand. Like, the shoes got to come off immediately.
Listen, where the flats at? Because, you know, I pack a flat on the side too. So
every time.
Listen, we bad, but we also know how to wear some sneakers and some flats too. So let's go.
Every time.
And still be bad. How about that?
And still be bad. And I had flats before every game. Like, every game, I'm walking around in my Nike slides, and then come time for the game, I put the heels on, and as soon as the game is over, I'm gonna take this cute little flick, and then the slides coming right back on.
Listen, get you a girl that can do both and get comfortable real fast if we need to. So let's get into this game. Indiana eked out a win over Chicago, 71-70. It was their first home win and their second win of the season. Yeah, I mean, it was, you know, we'll talk about the flow of the game a little bit, but what are your initial reactions to this win that Indiana had over the Sky?
So first and foremost, it was really great to see Kamilla Cardoso like back on the court. She looked really good in terms of just not having played a professional game yet, not really having the opportunity to, you know, start to like fit and gel and mix in. She came off the bench with the second unit, and I was like, she is pro ready. So that was the first thing that stood out. Second thing that stood out to me is the differences in how these teams approach the glass. Like, Chicago is a rebound machine. Angel Reese, I remember watching her in college and hearing Kim Mulkey say over and over, I need her on the boards. I need her on the boards. I need her on the boards. And I feel like that has just really been ingrained in her mind because that's where she thrives. So that was the other thing. The third thing that stood out to me early, and I changed a little bit as the game flowed, but early was why this Indiana team still refuses to run the point and be aggressive inside. They settled for some early threes. I want to say they started off like 0-5 from three. And I just kept thinking, you live by the three, you die by the three. Like, figure out a way to be aggressive in the paint. So those were the like first three things that stood out to me early.
Yeah, definitely. Seeing Kamilla in there was amazing to see, and seeing her against Aaliyah Boston was also awesome. I don't know if you saw the tweet, but Dawn Staley tweeted, "I'm crying real tears watching Kamilla. I know her mom and sister are super proud."
Yes.
And I know, it was kind of, I'm not saying emotional. I wasn't crying over here because I don't have that much stake in it, but it was just amazing to see them play against each other, knowing that they played, against each other or with each other before. And just, just seeing the growth and Kamilla out there, I don't want to say finally, it's been a very short time, really, if you think about it in the WNBA, but just to see her out there, get her first points. She did a great job. So that was my initial, I love that as well. Was there anything besides, you talked about the Fever and the struggles that they had a little bit? Was there anything else that you saw that you weren't necessarily, happy with, or you think needs improvement?
Yeah, I would love to see this Fever team be more aggressive and be more disciplined, right? And so I was looking at my stats because I'm a stat girly. I'm so bad of a stat girly that like now I can't even watch the game if I don't have like the stats at my disposal. Like I can't even enjoy. I gotta have them. And so when I was looking at Indiana, 27 of 69 from the field, 6 of 25 from three. You have Nalissa Smith, who was the better of the 3-point shooters today, but you have, because she was 2 for 4, but you have Nalissa Smith, you have Aaliyah Boston. Why are you not running the ball through Aaliyah? Why is she not back cutting more? What are we doing? Why are we settling? Now I get it. Like I know again, Nalissa can shoot and she did well today. I know that Kelsey is a shooter. And when the ball is in her hand, she's definitely going to let that thing fly. I think Kelsey Mitchell is probably one of the best pull-up shooters in the WNBA. Her and Enrique to me are just like, if it's going, like when she drop it, it's a wrap, it's gone. But when you have a player like Aaliyah Boston who knows how to battle back to the basket, to not run plays through her, to not give her, especially when when the long ball is not falling for you, it mind boggles me. Now, there were moments where they were trying to double team Aaliyah, but Aaliyah has gotten so good at handling the double team that you still fight through it. You bring over somebody from the weak side, something, but you don't stop giving Aaliyah Boston the ball. That is the biggest problem for me with this Indiana team. And I know that we should be happy because they won, sure. But come on, you have got to run this. You've got to run this thing through Aaliyah. You've got to establish yourself on both the inside and on the perimeter. And I just don't think they did a good job of that today, but they haven't done a good job of that throughout the entirety of the season. There was one game where we got to see Aaliyah really be Aaliyah. And it's not like anyone's advocating for her specifically, but it's just the fact that you have to be a balanced team. You cannot win in the WNBA on just with being one dimensional. You can't win that way. So you have to get her more activated. That's my problem with Indiana.
Well, and with this conversation around, Aaliyah not playing through her, all of those things, Christie Sides has obviously had, a lot of people talking about her coaching and how she's executing. What do you think she really needs to do to like turn this around for herself and for her team?
You know what, Alicia? Christie can't win. It's
Mm,
nothing that Christie can do because Christie
okay.
can't win. If Christie starts to play the ball more through, like, although I agree that she should run the ball through Aaliyah more, but
Mhm.
if she does that, and she's gonna get criticized for not using Caitlin. Oh, why are we not using Caitlin? Why is Caitlin not in the game? Why is Caitlin not here? Blah blah blah. Blah. You're gonna hear that. And then if she does, but it doesn't work and she's losing, Christie can't coach. What is Christie doing? She's not the best person for this team. She doesn't know how to create plays for this team. There's literally nothing that she's going to be able to do on either side that is going to grant her favor in the eyes of the fans. You know what I mean? So it's really a position that I feel bad that she has to be in. She's a second year coach. This is really her first time. Like, she's got stars. She's got 2 first round draft picks and a second round, I mean a number 2 overall pick that she has to work into. She's got players that have to have the ball in their hand all the time in order to truly be successful. How do you coach that while also having the scrutiny of every television station, every media person, every outlet in your face, in your business? And oh, by the way, you're probably the only team in the WNBA that's played like 10 games. So like, there's been no practice time. There's been no time to gel, no time to work out any kinks, and all the errors that you're getting, you quite literally have to get them in the public eye. Like, it is the most unfair, and like, it is crazy what Christie has to coach through right now. So yeah, like, there's no winning for her, and I feel so bad about it.
Yeah, it's a definite difficult position to be in on all fronts. And you said, she can't win. Well, speaking of winning, we had some rookies play today that we've
Yeah.
been really looking forward to. Out of the rookie play, who do you think won today? Which rookie won in
Oh.
this matchup?
I think you can kind of say, gosh, that's tough. I want to say that if you're going off points, obviously it's probably Caitlin. If you're going off points, and granted, she only had 8 points, right? So it's not like she lit the scoreboard up. But um, I want to say Angel, to me, is the winner. Um, Angel had, first of all, I believe she got the most rebounds by any rookie in Sky history. And she's doing exactly what it is that she is being asked to do, which is be aggressive on the boards, which is she finished with 13 rebounds, which is crazy. But that's what she's being asked to do. She's being asked to be a presence inside. And Angel does that. Like, you have to deal with her each and every time you come down inside that Chicago paint. And I love that. She's also not afraid to share the ball. She's not afraid to get physical on defense. She got a steal and an assist and an assist today. So I feel like it's not necessarily a win against Caitlin, but just she's winning in terms of she's doing what Spoon is asking of her to do. And that's important. Then to see Kamilla come in and instantly be a part of that, I love that. Like, I love just the way that they're going to be able to play together. And you earlier, you were like, hey, I don't want to say finally, but no, say finally, sis, because even though the time hasn't been like forever since she's played, but we have been anticipating seeing her on the court as a W player. And so it's taken us 7 games to see that. So yeah, finally we get to see what we've been asking for.
Yeah, definitely. And that she would be my pick. Kamilla would be my pick because just to see her get out there, let's use it finally. Just to
Yes.
see her get out there finally, do what she does. She had a great first showing, especially coming off of an injury. And I'm just excited to see what she's going to do, how she's going to grow with every single game that she's in there. Because we've seen with this rookie class how they improve. They're improving every game. Like, they're
Yep.
really, really getting out there and making an impact early on. And I know she will. I mean, we saw it tonight. We saw that she is obviously, ready to do that. So
Yep.
I'm excited to see it. I'm actually really excited for all of us to watch this rookie class because yes, there are amazing women that have been playing in this league, and I honor that. And
Yep.
and they are still balling and hooping, right? We're not going to negate that at all. But we're watching history really being made with this rookie class that is in here, and it's a beautiful thing to watch. So I feel like with every game, we are seeing this, and so we're winning. We're all winning
We're
watching
all
this.
winning.
We
Yes.
are. We are. Well, there's one thing that we cannot not have this podcast. We can't have this podcast without talking about it. And that is Carter's foul on Clark to end the third. Listen, I honestly, it was one of those, when I watched it, I was like, what just happened? Why did this just happen? But the discourse that was around that foul was, should it have been more than an away from the ball foul? And what was your reaction to it when it happened?
Like when I saw this foul, I mean, was it really a basketball play? No. Like
And Caitlin said that.
Was Chennedy frustrated? Yes. Here's the thing. I think Chennedy Carter is one of the better players, one of the best guards. I'm so happy to see her back in the game. Like she's Hollywood for a reason. I absolutely adored watching her in college. I know that Chennedy ain't like the sportsman of the year as it relates to not being chippy, as it relates to not, necessarily giving a blank on the court. I mean, that's just kind of how Chennedy has built a name amongst, some folks in the W, right? So I'm not surprised that Chennedy was like, it is what it is, bam. But I just wish she didn't do it to Caitlin, because there's so much discourse now about how people are hating on Caitlin and the WNBA hates Caitlin and all of this made up nonsense foolishness, that all this does is continue to drive the narrative. Like, I know it was, even though it wasn't a basketball play, it wasn't the sense of the competition of basketball. That kind of stuff happens all the time. It's not always caught on camera. It's not always, replayed over and over. But in terms of being seen, like in terms of it happening, it happens all the time, every game. I mean, my God, I could probably name a player in the NBA who does it every game, multiple times a game, and nobody says anything, nobody cares. So on the surface, I would have said, Chennedy, stop, you ain't got to be doing all of that. But I know that it's going to be an elevated discussion simply because she did it to Caitlin. And that's just the only regret I have. Like, come on.
Yeah. And, Caitlin has been saying little things now about I mean, the fish, she's actually being boisterous about it too. So it'll be really interesting to see how that rolls out. But another thing I wanted to add was when she came out of the game, I want to say it was like a couple of minutes later, they called a timeout. I can't remember the exact timing, but Angel Reese was, dapping her up and giving her some praise for being that way. And I think it's part of basketball, like you said. I mean, it is something that was very glaring and people are going to talk about. And like you said, it was on Caitlin, but it's part of basketball. And I think she was just giving her I like that fire. I like what you're doing out there on the court, because Angel's very much like that. And sports, that's part of it. So, but I thought that.
And Teaspoon is the coach. You really think Spoon out there talking about, don't be just walking about?
No, we see her facial expressions too.
We know how Spoon get down. Nobody's saying hurt anybody or just be abnormally aggressive for no reason. No one wants that. Nobody in sports wants that. No real athlete or competitor wants that. But no one who's ever played this game, no one involved in this game is gonna look at that and be like, oh, Chennedy, you're such a horrible person. No, you're a ball player. You was in a moment. It happens.
Absolutely. It happens. And it's going to keep happening, and it should, because this is sports, ladies and gentlemen. It is sports. So, obviously the game, I feel like it lived up to the hype. There were a lot of amazing moments, a lot of great moments. But what surprised you the most in this game?
Surprised me the most is how Chicago did not make good on those last 2 possessions.
Mm.
To me, that was like they were very much still in this game, partly to Chennedy Carter because she was phenomenal. She came off the bench with 19 points, like, sis, you are who you are.
Yes.
However, you've got to make smart plays. And an unsmart play on Alyssa Smith, where she fouled Marina Mabry in that last few moments, gave Chicago an opportunity to cash it in, but Marina didn't make her free throws, right? Little things. Then it's, not being smart on the offensive end and little things, right? Like the whole play was crazy, not fouling in a quick enough time for you to at least save some time off the clock. There was just so many little things in a very short period of time, and I mean like within seconds, that went wrong for Chicago, that it reminded me, as good as this game was and as well as they had played, that they are still a young team. They're still figuring out and finding out how to play together and how to play discipline. And those are the things that we have to give grace for, right? Those are the things that we're going to see right, before the Olympic break or right after the Olympic break. I think we will see those things be cleaned up. I think Chicago's going to be right at it. And that's saying something, because at the beginning of this season, I did not. Chicago was the team that I was like, y'all ain't got nothing to lose because you already lost everything. You already lost everybody. So at this point, whatever you do and wherever you go, it's just a learning curve. Y'all will be straight. But Chicago is showing us they can really be a team. Like, they are a force to be reckoned with. They're just one game under 500 now. And that was literally seconds away from being one game above 500. You feel me? So
Yeah.
I was disappointed in how they handled those final possessions, but I think at the end of the day, it still very much shows us that this team is a team that will be one to be reckoned with as we get deeper in the season.
Absolutely. And just fun to watch, right? Like I just really, really love to watch the
Yeah.
team. And obviously, we're talking about what we were a little surprised of, but what do we want to see moving forward? Like, what do we
Mhm.
want to see from both teams as they continue to grow? They both
Yeah.
have a lot of growth to be had.
Yeah.
But what do you want to see from both of these teams moving forward?
I want to see Caitlin make more bomb entry passes like she made a few. Oh my God, the girl can pass the ball. So I want her to be a pass first, shoot second point guard. That's what I want to see. Like, do that you do that, Caitlin. Then number one, the spacing that you're going to create already is nuts. But you do that. If you are a pass first, shoot second point guard, and I think she'll get there, right? But that is what will separate you from everyone else. That is what helps make Chelsea Gray so freaking amazing. Like, she knows how to facilitate, she knows how to run, she just knows it, right? And she is one that everyone knows you're a threat and you're dangerous and you can and will shoot. But the way that she has the ability to get the ball to her teammates in some fun ways, you just can't. You can't mess with it. I want Caitlin to get there. I want her to be this kind of person, and she displays it from time to time in the game. I want more. Give me more of that. I want to see Aaliyah be more aggressive in the paint, but do it disciplined and not foul so quickly. And I get it. Today they had some bigs that you had to work with when you got to go against Elizabeth Williams and Izzy Harrison. Camilla's back, Angel's down there. I get it. Like, they got some bigs in Chicago, right? But it's not the first time that we've seen Aaliyah in foul trouble, right? So some of it is the calls are a little funny, but at the same time, I want her to continue to be aggressive, to get the ball more, but be mindful of what you're doing. Be a little bit more disciplined. Overall, both of these teams to me are just so young that there's room for growth in every facet. Offensively, they can grow. Defensively, they can get better. And that's not to say like Chicago isn't a strong defensive team, because they were pretty locked in. Dana Evans, I ain't mentioned her, Alicia, but I've been saying from the beginning that this is Dana's year. I love her at point guard. I love when she's facilitating. I still think this is going to be Dana's year. But all in all, I that is something I certainly want to see more of. Like, give me more Dana, give me more of her shooting like she used to shoot from Louisville. Give me all of that. I need all of that. But yes, I just think that these teams just need to continue to grow. And when they do that, we will see all of the little ticky-tack things that don't look so good now get better.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we've talked about, we've seen growth already. So I just know that it's going to continue to get better and better. And also just playing ball. I feel like there's been a lot of conversation and a lot of things that are happening in and around the team. And I feel like at the end of the day, all anybody wants to do in this league is just play. So I want them to just get out there and play ball. Like, that is what people have been wanting to do, especially with the whole Caitlin, conversations around Caitlin Clark and everything.
Yep.
It's just, seeing them as players just out there playing. That is what I want more of, instead of all of the discourse that is happening around. It's like, I know it's part of it. I know it's part of the growth. I know it's part of like why the WNBA is where it's at now, and women's basketball in general. I get it. But also at the end of the day, I just want to see some straight up ball. Like, that's what I want to see going forward. And we saw a lot of it today, but there's always those little ins and outs that are affecting the game as well. So I feel like all the players just want that too. That's all they've been wanting to do and wanting to.
That's it. They just
that's
want
it.
a ball.
They just want a ball. Just want a ball. Speaking of just wanting to ball, we talked about Teaspoon a couple of times during this, obviously, with her being the coach of the team. What do you want to see from her moving forward? Because I know for me personally, she's one of the coaches that if I could just, come out of retirement real quick and play for her, I would. I don't know if she would want me on the team. Let's be clear. Because it's been a couple years.
It's been a while. It's been a while.
But I absolutely love her as a coach, and I love what we've seen so far. But what more do you want to see from Teaspoon moving forward?
Gosh, I want more of what we heard when we were in the coaches huddle today and they had her mic'd up. I'm not a fan of the coaches sideline interviews, but I was a fan of how she hyped up her team, how she encouraged her team midway, the facial expressions that she makes. Like, I too am no longer in my ball phases. Like, I wouldn't even be the ball girl at this point in my life. So I totally understand, but I would run through a wall for Coach Weatherspoon. Like, the way that she, Angel talked about it in an interview, that she relates to her, and how fortunate she is to have a coach that just kind of pours into her. And that's what I see from Weatherspoon. I don't question her X's and O's ability. I don't question how she knows the game. She's one of the best to ever play the game. So that I get, but I love the way she has really utilized that experience to help her relate to these young women on this team. And this is a team that needs the morale. Like, they need the morale boost, specifically those who were there to see their coach leave, their players leave, like everything like kind of happened before their eyes, right? I just love the way she gives, like, she is Chicago, which is crazy because you look at Spoon and you like, this is a Liberty here, like, this is New York, what are you doing? But she exudes that Chicago roughness that I love. Like, she's got these women playing like they can own every game they step on the court for, and that's what I want to continue to see more of.
Yeah, and you talk about being aligned, it's the right team, the right coach, the right players underneath the coach.
Yes.
It really is a beautiful thing to see. And I think that's why we're seeing so much growth so fast with them, is because that chemistry is there. The coaching, obviously, with the players, like they really are doing well underneath her tutelage. So I really absolutely love it. And again, like, I don't think y'all need me, but if you want anybody else, like, I'll try my hardest, coach. Like, let me just get out there and play.
I'm 5'9" and I thought I was gonna be somebody something. And then when I realized that I was too short and I really ain't had no ball handles because I ain't never played guard, I was a post player, a 5'9" post player. Stop it.
5'9" post player. Let's go.
Listen here. The W was like, ma'am, no. No, sit down. No.
Listen, I'm not mad at it. I need you to send me some tape. Like, wait,
Let me
Where
go
is
find.
it?
I know my mama still got some. I know
Mom,
literal tape too. She got the VCR and everything. That's how old school
listen,
we are.
listen. I'm here for the VCR footage. Let's get
Let
that.
me
I'm trying to
let me
see it.
find it.
I'm trying to
Get her
see
to
it.
find it.
Well, thank you so much for coming today. Like, I really appreciate, you being here. I know you probably had like 18 hits before this. This is like your 19th of the day because you out here, you're on every WNBA scene, and I absolutely love to see it. So
Oh,
yeah, but thank you so much. Great game. We're looking forward to so much more from the W this season, and I'm sure that we will have you back
I
to
can't wait
talk
to
about the
connect.
W.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Listen, Ashley, we know you with your daddy, but Terrika might be, I don't
I'm
know.
taking your spot flash. You want my
Listen.
spot flash? Yes.
Well, until next time, thank you guys so much for always being here. Remember to comment, like, subscribe, do all the things, and we will be back right here on We Need to Talk Now next week. We'll see you soon.